Here.
Commissioner West,
Here.
Commissioner Schulte,
Here.
Commissioner Meisner,
Here.
Commissioner Gamache,
Here.
Commissioner Reiner.
Here.
And we are all present and accounted for. Next, we'll look for approval of tax claims and abatements. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
A motion by Commissioner Braston. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner West. Further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Brasted,
Aye.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Reiner,
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Passes. Item 5 on your agenda is consider accepting the regular claims paid over $500 and purchase card claims paid for the period ending July 2nd, 2021. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
A motion by Commissioner Look. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Reinhardt. Any further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Reiner,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Brasted.
Aye.
And that item passes. Next, we'll look for approval of the minutes from July 13th, 2021, the county board meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
A motion by Commissioner Reinhardt. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Meisner. Any other corrections, additions, or changes? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? The minutes are adopted. We have 2 items under Chair's remarks today. The first of which is to proclaim today, Tuesday, July 27th, as County Staff Appreciation Day. Today is a recognition of all county staff statewide, as Governor Walz has chosen July 27th to acknowledge the exemplary efforts of county staff, particularly during the pandemic. Here in Anoka County, we currently have more than 1,800 full-time staff, over 100 regular part-timers, and in excess of 400 employees working for us on a seasonal basis. We all know how hard county staff work, how flexible they've been over the past year and a half, and how they professionally conduct their jobs each and every day to ensure excellent service delivery to all of our residents. Even though we are aware of their efforts, I think it's important to take a moment to reflect upon the accomplishments of county staff. The work of many of our employees is essential, and it's often in person, whether that's our public health nurses performing wellness checks, our license center staff meeting with customers and processing documentation, or our election staff processing voter registrations and ballots. Over the course of the pandemic, our county staff stepped up their efforts to provide professional, timely service delivery. Our frontline staff have put in many long hours responding to calls from community members about COVID-19, providing mental health services, offering essential services to residents, providing temporary shelter, and administering COVID-19 vaccines to our local population. Staff working remotely and in a hybrid fashion have learned how to navigate the challenges of this work model and have assumed new duties and responsibilities. At this time, I would like to now introduce Resolution 2021-88, which proclaims July 27th as County Staff Appreciation Day in Anoka County, and ask my fellow commissioners to join me in support. So that resolution is now before us. Is there further comments? I would go on and just say that we couldn't do our job without our staff doing their job as good as they do. During the crisis, the pandemic, and beyond, you make one call to the administrator or somebody on staff and things just happen, we get the information we need, and the work just keeps happening. It's been really impressive to watch the staff in Anoka County at every level. So thank you. We really appreciate it. Any further comments?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner West.
just want to comment. It happened for me this morning. I had a constituent call. I called at 8:15 and got a report just a few minutes ago that they had already discussed the problem the person had.
Thank you. It's just one example of hundreds and hundreds of calls that happen every single day. Seeing Commissioner Luck.
Mr. Chair, I just want to comment that some of us have served in other capacities before serving on the county board, and the one thing that I noticed that was different coming to the county board was the outstanding team that we have. And so my thanks for the hard work they put in and the just incredible service they give to our constituents, so.
Thank you. Commissioner Meisner.
Yeah, I won't repeat all of the things that everyone else has said, except that I will say I am pleased to see that this is being recognized by the state level. So, but everything that has been mentioned is 100% true.
Now, for those of us that are active in AMC, we deal with many other counties, and we hear the trials and tribulations that a number of them go through. And certainly we have ours. We have our issues, that we correct regularly, that our staff correct regularly, I should say. And we are in a constant state of evolution to find the right number of people, to do the right amount of work, to serve the citizens in the most fiscally responsible and respectful way. And I don't think we can ever stop that. I think we need to keep that goal in the forefront of our minds. But today, particularly, to recognize the people that really do make it happen. It's not the elected officials that make it happen. It's the staff behind the scenes. So thank you all. Commissioner Reiner.
Not to repeat everything, but I do want to just say something as the new guy on the board, and so I have a fresh perspective. Ditto to everything that everyone said. But also I do want to bring attention to and recognition to our county administrator, who used to be part of this board and is doing a fantastic job. And just want to give kudos to you, Rhonda, and remind everybody that she did come from my district.
Thank you, Commissioner Reinert. Okay, seeing no further comments, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And no one is opposed. Our second item today is to briefly introduce the public to our Love Where You Live campaign. Perhaps you've already seen the logo for this initiative on some Anoka County publications or on social media. The idea of the campaign is to encourage our residents to shop, work, and enjoy recreation activities in our county. In essence, to support where they live. Supporting our local communities is always important, but it's essentially vital right now when so many businesses are still struggling to rebound from the pandemic. Anoka County, through this campaign, will be taking the opportunity to remind people about the importance of investing in where they live. In order to have stable, growing communities, we need the support of our residents. So I ask everyone to consider helping their communities in any way they can. Eat at a local restaurant, buy clothing from an area merchant, find local service providers to do home improvement projects, apply for a job at that business right down the road. Anoka County has a thriving small business community, an ample amount of recreation opportunities, and a hardworking, generous resident population. Let's leverage these assets to ensure Anoka County continues to be a great area to live, work, and play. I am as guilty as anybody of buying on Amazon or any of the online stores and having it shipped. That really doesn't always help our local economy. We do attempt through Anoka County, if we purchase anything through the larger Amazons or whatever, we try to make sure that it still comes from the local area. You have that option when you shop online. Shopping online isn't going away anytime soon, but I do encourage everybody, find that little merchant down the street and help them out, because those are your neighbors. They live in your community probably. If not, they want to support your community. So reach out to them, and no matter what, whether it's a pizza shop or it doesn't matter. Just get out there and shop local, because you gotta love where you live, and that's going to be our new campaign coming through in the next few months. So we'll all be sharing that on social media as the time comes. Now, on to committee reports, and we'll begin with the Management Committee. Commissioner West.
Thank you, Matt. And Mr. Chair, my items are informational, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner West, for your brevity. Let's move on to the Transportation Committee report. We had an opportunity to meet on July 14th. Back at the Lacaparo room now at the Highway Division building. And we got one item for your attention here. The committee recommends approval to enter into the revised programmatic maintenance agreement with the Rice Creek Watershed District for maintenance of the stormwater facilities permitted and constructed within the Rice Creek Watershed District. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
A motion by Commissioner West. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Meisner. For discussion, we'll have Joe give us just a quick, brief update on what this is.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, members of the board. My name is Joe McPherson. I'm the Transportation Division Manager and County Engineer. This agreement simply is a programmatic agreement. Typically what we do on our construction projects is we'll acquire a permit from the watershed district, and each time we do that for each project, we'd subsequently have to prepare an agreement like this, and it would go through the Transportation Committee and then also through the board for every project. This essentially does the same thing with it's a one-stop shop. And it doesn't put any additional liability on us. It just simplifies the process.
Thank you. Any questions for Joe? Any more discussion? Commissioner
Oh,
Meisner.
thank you, Mr. Chair. And this is per year, or this is permanent?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner, this is permanent.
Okay, all right. Okay, very good. Thank you.
Until rescinded.
Yeah.
I did see memorialized, so I just wanted to double check. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Reiner.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Braston.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
And that item passes. We're now going to move to the Transportation Committee Chair Report. We had one item that came up after our committee meeting, and this is to consider recommending approval to enter into a professional services agreement amendment as a subclient with the City of Anoka for professional services for the proposed interchange improvement projects on US 10 at the intersection of West Main Street, Fair Oak, and Thurston in the City of Anoka. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion by Commissioner Look. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gamache. Joe, just a quick explanation so everybody understands what this subclient agreement, all that stuff means.
Sure. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Essentially what this is, as we all know, the county was very helpful in securing additional funding to get this project off the ground. And we secured $15 million through a legislative process back in 2018. As part of that, since we're the grantee, we need to be part of all these subcontracts that are with the city. Although they're leading the project, we were the grantee of the funds, so our name has to be affixed on all the agreements. That's essentially what this is. It's just we're simply just a pass-through helping out the city.
Thank you, Joe. Any further questions or discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Reiner.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Braston.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye. And that item passes, and that concludes the Transportation Committee Chair Report. And we'll move on to the Finance Report. Commissioner Luck.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Finance Committee met on July 20th and came away with 3 action items. The first is that the committee recommends the county board approve an amendment to PO number 0006118, the current Microsoft Enterprise Agreement and Server Cloud Enrollment with Insight Public Sector to expand existing licensing and provide a vehicle to merge current Active Directory users authentication service with Microsoft Azure Cloud Authentication Services for an additional amount of $311,321.50 for the remainder of the term, which expires in May 31st of 2024. So this is for 2,600 workstations, and helps allow us to move into the cloud more so than we are today.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion by Commissioner Gamache. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner West. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
Commissioner Reiner.
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
Commissioner Braston.
Aye.
Commissioner West.
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte.
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner.
Aye.
That item passes.
Mr. Chair, the second item is the committee recommends the county board approve the following contracts for hazardous material professional services. Surveys, the first one is for surveys, giving the county maximum flexibility. These are 2 companies, Tectron and Nova Consulting, that will be doing the surveys, and these were the 2 incumbents prior, that when we went out to bid, they still came in the best price. And again, this is to keep these folks on staff, or available in the event that we have need for these type of surveys for hazardous materials.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
A motion by Commissioner Braston. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gamache. Further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Reinert,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Brasted,
Aye.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache.
Aye.
And that item passes.
Mr. Chair, the third item is the committee recommends the county board approve the following contracts for the abatement and remediation after the surveys are done. And the two companies that were the lowest bidders, again, were Envirobate and Mavo Systems, the two incumbents that we've used in the past. Again, these are, abatement contractors that are available to us in the need of that type of work, so.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
A motion by Commissioner Reinert. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gamache. Further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Brasted,
Aye.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Reinert.
Aye.
That item passes.
And Mr. Chair, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Look. Next, we will turn to the Human Services Committee report. Commissioner Reinert.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is probably the shortest report you will have from Human Services all year. So let's get to it. Committee met on July 20th, 2021. And we have before us a consent agenda, and I will move that.
There's a motion before us for the consent agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Brasted. Further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner Brasted,
Aye.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Reinert,
Aye.
Commissioner Look.
Aye.
That item passes.
And then the rest is just informational, but I'll read some of it. The committee did recommend County Board reappointment of Dr. Ed Evans as Commissioner District Number 1 representative to the Community Corrections Advisory Board for a 2-year term through July 2023. Then also, the committee recommended County Board Chair appointment of the following individuals to the Workforce Development Board for a 2-year term from July 1st, 2021 through July 30th, 2023. The reappointments are Casey Kai, owner of K Mama Sauce, by the way, very good stuff. Paul Johnson, Shim Cook, and new members Don Wellman and Leslie Greaves. And that does complete my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Reinert. We will now turn to Property Records and Taxation Committee report. Commissioner Meisner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It looks like I will be following the short report trend as well. So the Property Records and Taxation Committee, we met on July 19th at 1 p.m. here in this building. There was no public comments, and I will remind the public that you do need to either come in person now to make any kind of questions or comments about the agenda, or you can email myself, which is chair, mandy.meisner at co.anoka.mn.us. Everything on here is informational, but I will also share a little bit. We did speak about the budget and what was presented with that overall, as well as a PRT Tyler migration update. So things are smoothing out as well. And then updates on assessments, taxation records, and elections activities. One of the things that I will just share that we've been talking about is because of some systematic efficiencies, we were able to pass on some savings to our city partners with assessment fees. I do notice that Pam LeBlanc is here. If there's anything that you would like to share in particular with the public, I invite you to do that. You do not have to. If not, okay. Our next meeting will be held on Monday, September 20th at 1 p.m. Again, here in this building in conference room 710. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Meisner. Next, we'll go to the Public Safety Report and Commissioner Brasted.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Our Public Safety Committee met on July 20th, and I have one action item, and that is that the committee recommends the county board approve a contract for purchase of services agreement with Charter Solutions in an amount not to exceed $95,480. What this contract is for is the Sheriff's Office jail management, warrants, and civil process software where has become problematic. The current software is functionality obsolete, and the current system is not being upgraded and improved. So Charter Solutions will draft a request for proposal for replacement of the software. And I'll move that.
There's a motion before us. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner West. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, this is a roll call vote.
Commissioner West,
Aye.
Commissioner Schulte,
Aye.
Commissioner Meisner,
Aye.
Commissioner Gamache,
Aye.
Commissioner Reinert,
Aye.
Commissioner Look,
Aye.
Commissioner Braston.
Aye.
That item passes.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner Brasted. That brings us back to our regular agenda, and we'll be back to item 9, committee appointments. We will go over a few things that Commissioner Reinert just covered. We'll consider reappointing Dr. Ed Evans, representing District 1, to the Community Corrections Advisory Board for a term ending July of 2023. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion by Commissioner Reinert. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Meisner. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Dr. Evans is reappointed. And then for informational purposes, I won't reread all of those, but those are the appointments to the Workforce Development Board that Commissioner Reinert recently just stated. And that was for informational purposes only. And then also last on your agenda is to consider for informational purposes my appointment of the following commissioners to the IG Committee, or Intergovernmental and Community Relations Committee, for the remainder of 2021, and that would be Chair Julie Brasted of that committee, and Vice Chair would be Commissioner West. That used to be a 3-person committee, but Commissioner Meisner has accepted a position on a mental health advisory committee for the state that conflicts with that committee, so we're reducing that to a 2-member committee. Just a reminder that any other commissioner that wants to be involved in those conversations can certainly be at the committee to listen to what's happening, and so they know what's going on with IG. Otherwise, it always winds up back here at this table anyways. Commissioner Meisner.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. And while I am absolutely thrilled to be serving in this new capacity, I also want to say I really appreciate this board's flexibility in order for me to do that. So thank you. And I do hope another commissioner will consider being the third on this committee as well. Thanks.
Yeah, and I think we made the decision to go to 2 because that's all we really need. I mean, the 1 or 2 meetings a year where it's really important, everybody comes to that anyways. So this seemed like it made sense to drop it to 2 at this point. And that concludes our county board meeting for today. And our HRA will convene at 10:15.